have the stories from families who have actually used Akron Children's Hospital of the Mahoning Valley. And boy, this story, this is one that goes to show you, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Persistence, determination, paid off. It's Tyler Platt and his dad, Mike. Hi, Tyler, how are you?
Good.
Now, Tyler, and Mike, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Tyler, what happened to you? What were you here at Akron Children's Hospital for?
I had Guillain-Barré syndrome.
And what is that?
Do you remember how it started?
It starts from down from your legs, and it works up to the top of your body.
And you thought you were just having aches and pains?
Yes.
And then you went to the doctor, and the doctor told your mom and dad, oh, it's growing pains. But something wasn't right, huh? And did it hurt real bad?
Yes.
Was it hard to walk?
Yeah.
Aw. And how old were you when this was first diagnosed?
7.
Just turned 8.
You just turned 8. And how old are you now?
8.
So this was just recently, Mike.
It was this January. It was about 10 days after his 8th birthday.
Aw. And you're an active guy, huh? I hear you like to play baseball and football. What do you want to play? What would you like to do?
I would like to play football.
Yeah? Who would you like to play for?
Browns.
The Browns. All right. I understand you're a big Peyton Hillis fan. I'm a big fan of him, too. Did you ever meet him? Did you? Aw, Tyler. Well, Mike, tell us the story now. You guys did. You went to the doctors, and they kept saying growing pain, and you and your wife Kelly would not rest on that because he wasn't getting better.
Right. It started, his legs just started hurting real bad, and after about 4 or 5 days, it got to the point where he couldn't go up steps, he couldn't walk. Every step he took, he just was in excruciating pain, into tears. He, at points, he would try to walk and just be all over the place. He honestly looked like somebody trying to take a sobriety test and failing miserably. It was terrible.
And just out of nowhere, this came.
Yes, just one night he fell walking out of a restaurant from dinner, and we thought maybe just slipped on ice to within 4 days not being able to walk at all. And we took him to a few different places, and they said the last thing we heard was sinus infection and growing pains, and we thought, well, that just doesn't seem right. And then the next morning, it was even worse, and we brought him here to Akron Children's. First we took him to his pediatrician, and they tried to get him to step up onto one of the little stools to get up onto the bed, and he started to step and just fell straight down, and they said immediately, go to Akron, Mahoning Valley campus, get him there now. So we brought him here, and they had some ideas what they thought might be wrong with him, and they did some tests. He sat down and did a full body MRI. He did all kinds of testing, and they narrowed it down to what they thought was 3 different things. And they wanted to watch his breathing because they thought if it was the Guillain-Barré syndrome, if it gets into the respiratory system, it shuts it down and you have to go on a ventilator. And they said,
wow.
Most cases, when it starts to decrease your breathing ability, you're gonna go on one. And he got here in the afternoon, and by the next morning his breathing had gone down about 25%. So they got nervous. They said, we need to get you down to the main campus before it gets to the point of a ventilator. They called for air bear, but unfortunately it was still winter and the weather was bad, so he wound up having to go in the ICU ambulance with a respiratory specialist in there with him, and they took him to Akron, and I had to drive down and meet him, which was the worst drive of my life.
Oh, I can't imagine.
And they got him down there. They did numerous other tests, and they got to the point where they were now almost positive it was Guillain-Barré, but they had to do one more test, and that was a spinal tap to check the protein level in his spinal fluid. And with him having the decrease in his breathing, they couldn't sedate him or anything, so they just gave him some numbing cream and did the spinal tap.
Tyler, you're a brave boy.
But
oh my!
They said normal, I think, was 30 to 40 for the protein, and his was like 185. It was just through the roof. So then they knew that's what it was, and they're not sure how, but he never went on a ventilator. He fought through it.
Wow.
And,
Tyler, wait, do you remember all of this? So this was just in January, huh?
Yeah.
And what do you remember most about being here at Akron Children's Hospital, Mahoning Valley?
I remember when the nurses from upstairs, they came in and they, one of the nurses played games with me, and then they brought like game systems in, and they let me play on those.
That's what you remember. That's so great. The staff here are very nice, aren't they?
Yes.
And they made you feel better, and you went through a really rough time. Well, boy, you're a strong guy. We're pretty proud to have you with us today. And we're so glad your dad came to tell the story.